So we breathe. So we move to a space of relaxed connection. And what that means for each one of us might be a little bit different, but it begins with a breath. It continues with the breath. As we breathe, we just relax in. If it feels comfortable, we close our eyes. If not, that's okay too. And we just allow our breath to come regularly and in a relaxed fashion. We're not trying to force anything or make anything happen. As we breathe, we can feel that breath coming from the source of all breath. That breath of God, of Spirit, of the Creator, of the allness of beingness that breathes us even as we breathe it. We breathe our lives into being, and with our breath, other lives are breathed into being. The plants and the trees rely on our deep breath, taking in what we leave, renewing and realigning it, and breathing it back out fresh and clean for us. In that endless cycle of giving and receiving, of oneness that happens on purpose, with purpose, endlessly. We just allow that knowing to bring us to a place of peace this morning. No matter what it took to get here today, no matter what waits for us after our time here together, right now, this time, this space is a sacred opportunity for growth, for evolution, for expansion, and for healing. So we allow ourselves to open to peace that comes from so deep within our soul that it creates a healing balm for everything in our lives. That peace that passes earthly understanding because it is divine. It is a creative force that allows us to not just feel peace, but to become peace itself. We just feel that for a moment. No matter what was happening before and what will happen after we leave here, let's just find where peace begins within. Feel inside for a space and a place that is at peace. Feel inside for that divine creative force that is birthing that peace within. Get in touch with it. Bring your awareness to it. And then allow it to spread through your body, touching everything inside that needs peace now. Bringing peace to our heartbeat, bringing peace to the oxygen that moves through us, bringing peace to every cell, bringing peace to the thoughts in our mind, peace to our muscles, peace to this place. We let it move not just through us, but into this room, and then we let it spread outward bathing every single atom and molecule in this space in peace. And then moving outward through the walls, through the floor into the earth, through the roof into the atmosphere. Peace, growing exponentially with our attention to it. We let it bathe first our area and then moving around our planet and out into every corner of existence. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. And in the silence, we let it radiate. Peace, be still. And we allow the peace to settle like a blanket over all things, cozying everyone into that expression of Godness, that peace that passes all earthly understanding, that radiates from each one of us, standing in the center of our being, right there, with and within God, every step of the way. And we say, thank you, God, thank you. And so it is. And amen. Amen. So, hello, my name is Trish, and I am a recovering codependent. I don't know if that giggle is because you think I'm funny, or you are identifying with the fact that there is something called codependence. This week is about peace. Those of us who are in active codependency don't have a whole lot of that a lot of the time, because in codependency, it is the belief that we have to make everything right for everyone else at all costs, every minute of every day, every second of every day, no matter what it costs to us, no matter whether it's ours to do or not, no matter whether we're taking on things that we kind of have no business taking on. Oh, I should have said, or maybe I should have started it with, see, Trish of a year and a half ago would have stepped up this morning and said, trigger alert. Yeah. Now, I get to act like I didn't just do that and say, I wouldn't do that today. I stepped up here on a Sunday morning, on a given Sunday morning, and I began with trigger alert and launched into a discussion at the time that apparently was incredibly triggering for people. And me saying at the beginning, I'm probably about to trigger you, sent those triggers from a level 5 to a good 12. Okay? So I learned on that day that it was probably not a good idea for me to front load everyone by handing them the trigger before I even started talking. Now, I've realized that. It doesn't mean I always live from that. I do my best to learn what I learn and learn the lessons I learn and then create the rest of my life as the best of my life and not step back into those spaces and places. And we're all human. So we learn really great things and we get really great tools, and sometimes we whip those suckers right out and use them. And sometimes we're like, where did that go? I know I had that tool. Surely I put it somewhere, and we go looking for it. So we need a level of patience with ourselves and understanding with ourselves. It's so much easier to be understanding of other people for us often, or I should only speak for myself. It's so much easier for me to be understanding of others and patient with others than it sometimes is to be that way with myself. Because I feel like I should know. My dad used to say, "Don't should on me." And that's a real great thing for us to be carrying through life with us. Let's not should on ourselves or anyone else, because everybody is doing the very best they can in every moment of every day. And a good question to ask ourselves when anything arises in life, aside from, is this really mine to do? Is this really my responsibility? Should I be putting my life on hold to make this person's life happen when maybe there's another path for them? Or how many times am I going to drive myself to the edge of distraction or into a complete inability to move forward because I'm so angry or so freaked out? How many times am I going to do this before I check in with my body and ask myself whether I should do this? Whether it's helping me or hurting me to do this? Because if we want peace, we need to figure out how to have it in here before we're ever going to be able to figure out how to have it out here. Yeah, it has. Thank you, Maureen. Yeah, you guys are allowed to say stuff. I mean, there might be things I would prefer you didn't say, but you know, I'll live with it. I'll take the rollback from what I start rolling out. I'm cool with that. So it's a matter of everything that's showing up out there starts in here. My daughter has this statement. Oh, I hope I don't butcher it because it just went right out of my head as I was going to say it. A poor planning on your part does not a crisis make on mine. And my daughter is really good at standing in her boundaries and saying, you know what? That's not mine. I'm not going to pick it up because it's not mine. You have created what you have created with your decisions. You may want me to help you out of it. And is it the best thing for me to do to save you in this? Or is it time for you to save yourself? See, that's a pivotal piece of peace. We are not here to make the world work for everyone else. And we want to bring peace. We want to bring love. We want to share wonderful things with people and create joy and make other people happy and do things that have a lasting and positive effect on our world. So where do those two things meet? How do those two things meet and enable us to walk forward in ways that create a life that works for us and that help us create a life that works for all? See, in my Codependency Anonymous, I have learned that the more ragged I run myself for everybody else, the less I have for them. Right? We sometimes will hear about, oh, you can't pour from an empty cup. Yeah, that is true. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So you have to refill your cup so that you got something to share with somebody else. Sleep good. Get enough sleep. Eat good. If you know something, oh, I'm telling on me again. See, there are certain foods and things that I love Coke Slurpees. Oh, I love Coke Slurpees. And I will use a Coke Slurpee as a reward to myself for having done work or things that I didn't really want to do, or for having been a good girl and not drinking any soda for a while. I will go to Wawa. I have my own refillable Wawa cup. And I will go to Wawa with my lovely insulated red gigantic cup, and I will get myself a Slurpee as a reward. And I will sometimes, I'm really telling on myself, if I'm waiting for a sandwich at the counter with my mom, because we like the sandwiches at Wawa, and sometimes I'll go fill up the Slurpee cup first, go order my sandwich, walk around drinking some Slurpee, and then before I head out the door, I just refill the thing, top it all off to make sure I have enough Slurpee for the rest of the day. I love those Slurpees. They're delicious. They give me acid indigestion. They are not good for me for a variety of reasons. They're eating the enamel off my teeth. They're messing up my stomach, and I want my Coke Slurpee because it makes me feel good in the moment. So what have I done in my all-knowing, all-seeing, boy, am I telling on myself, I will eat Tums the morning that I'm going to get myself a Slurpee so that I could go get myself a Slurpee and not realize how it's tearing up my body because I ate Tums, so my stomach feels okay with my really not good for me Slurpee. I don't think any of you can identify with that in here because I'm sure you don't do anything like that in your life, right? I mean, how many times do we do that? We know this thing we are about to do is not what is best for us or what is going to bring us the most peace or the most growth, or it's taking us a step back from things that we have learned, and we're in human skin. We don't always pick the right choice or the best choice. Now, I have made a deal with myself that Coke Slurpee is just so important to me that I will eat the Tums so I can have the Coke Slurpee. It's a coping mechanism, right? What are we doing behaviorally in our lives that even as we're doing it, we're going, I'm going to regret this. How many times, I don't know about you, I've said that to myself countless times. I'm going to regret this. I really shouldn't be doing this. While I'm doing it. How many times do we forego that checking in with our body? Well, hello. That checking in with our body that tells us what would work and what wouldn't, what's good for us and what isn't. And how many times do we just let that go and let it be without question? This past week, I can tell you that in my job, see, I kind of lead this spiritual community, and in my job this week, I have had no less than, maybe 80 texts and 8 phone calls, maybe 12 phone calls, that were absolutely dealing with something inviting me into crisis. Something inviting me into to feed a situation or to choose not to. Something asking me to help, And in some of those instances, it was mine to do. And in some of those instances, it wasn't. And in some of those instances, it wasn't theirs to do either. Okay? I mean, let's be real about it. Like I said, sorry if I'm triggering. And this is an opportunity for us to learn. So when the phone call comes in, when the text comes in, I know that feeling of, ooh, this is going to be juicy. Most of the time, ooh, this is going to be juicy means someone's in crisis, maybe of their own making, and it's going to be juicy because it's going to be an opportunity for me to join in or for me to step into my higher consciousness and say, I will do all that I can and that is rightfully mine to do. I invite you to do the same. I invite you, when the invitation comes to jump into someone else's trash fire, that you try to take a second and take a breath and go, wait a second. I care about this person. I want this person to be healthy and happy. And you know what? What they really need is blank, fill in the blank. A psychologist, a medical doctor, a ride, a meal, a hug, a listening ear. Whatever it is, you fill in the blank. Whatever it is that they're really needing in that moment. And then you take a second before you decide whether it's yours to jump into the trash fire. And you say, okay, first of all, can I do this without hurting me and them? Can I do this? Should I do this? Because will it hurt me or them that I do this? There are some situations, see, we get really, really invested in an outcome. We want things for ourselves and for others, and sometimes I could make it happen for this other person. I can run myself ragged fixing their lives. And I can run myself ragged and make my life fall apart at the same time. Now, is it selfish? Well, that's for each of us individually to decide. But I would offer to you that the only person you have ultimate responsibility for in this life is yourself. That the only person you can make any changes for in this life is yourself. And that sometimes in trying to make someone else's life work for them and running yourself ragged, you're not actually helping them, you're enabling them. I've had alcoholics in my life that I have gone to great lengths to enable in the name of helping them, in the name of trying to make their life easier, or maybe even covering up for them, right? Once we decide we care about someone or we love them, sometimes the truth and a lie becomes a blurry line because we really care about them and we want to help them. And sometimes the things that we set out to do for them in the end are more about being for us than being for them. Because it makes me feel better if they feel better. Or because it makes me feel superior. My life isn't falling apart because look, theirs is falling apart. I'm going to go fix it for them. Sometimes the only thing doing that does is keep us from looking at our own lives and these glaring trash fires all around us that we are not even looking at. We're walking through going, la, 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 la. Oh, look, they're in crisis. Let me go fix that. It's a wonderful, open-hearted thing to do to help somebody else. It is a terribly damaging thing to do to chew off your own leg to help somebody else. It's less than what we have come here to be. And I can, I've told you before, I have a son on the autism spectrum. And when we got that diagnosis, and I've heard a lot of people we're different ways about diagnoses or about how to treat things that we find out are diagnosed in someone else. And I heard a lot of people that when my son and we got this diagnosis, I had a couple people say, oh, just act like you didn't hear that. You need to go on and you need to make him be all he can be. And just forget that, because you're going to turn him into one of those weird autistic people if you start doing things differently for him. Well, what happened in us is, oh my gosh, so many things made sense. I was like, oh my gosh, now I get him. I understand him so much better. And it gave us a whole toolbox full of tools to help him be the best him that he could be. Now, if you met him today, and many of you have, you would probably think, oh, he's just, he's one of those booky, nerdy Dungeons and Dragons guys. And he is. And he also happens to have Asperger's. He is what they would call neurodivergent. I see the neuro-sparkly table back there. I identify. Here I am with you. Yes. We see each other, don't we? And it's empowering. To me, maybe not to you, to me it is empowering to get that statement of, oh, this is why I don't understand when people do this or that or the other. This is why it bothers me when this is happening. Sometimes it's a medical diagnosis. Sometimes it's a neurological diagnosis. Sometimes it's a psychological or emotional diagnosis. I short circuit when this happens because this happened in my childhood and I have a gaping open wound. And you know what? There's somebody to help me with that. There's somebody called a psychologist. Or a psychiatrist. I don't need to go to a friend who has no medical training to try to fix this for me. And if I do, that's on me. If they choose to pick it up and try to fix it, that's theirs. We can all, right now in our lives, probably identify half a dozen people we wish we could shake awake and have them live differently, and if they just did this, everything would be fine. Not yours to do. And if you are taking huge chunks of your life to make someone else's life work, not yours to do. Trigger alert. Not yours to do. Yours to say, you know what? I can't do this for you 18 times this week. I need to do this for me because I've let this go over here, and it needs to be done for me in my life. So if I can help you find the resources you need, I will do that. But I'm not a taxi service. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a medical doctor. I can't fix these things for you. And so I will ask you and walk with you and hold your hand to find the solutions that you need for those things to happen. It's just not mine to do to fix them. And I love you. And I see that what I'm doing has crossed a line from helping to enabling. And enabling doesn't work for either one of us, right? I want peace. I want love. I want joy. I want to be able to live a life that works for me, that helps create a life that works for all. And if I'm running around putting out everybody else's trash fires, I don't have a hose for mine. So it's important, if we want that peace. See, here's another piece of it. We look at situations and we go, I know how that should work. I know the best way that should work. I know exactly what should happen. No. Stop it. If it's not happening inside of you, it's not yours to say what would be best to happen. And sometimes the best thing to happen looks like something you don't want to have happen. Sometimes the best thing to happen looks like something you don't want to have happen. God is in it all, every bit of it. And if we run around trying to play God in our humanness because we want to make someone else feel better at our own expense, we're doing God a disservice. Because the best thing we can do is allow this real world life to happen in us and in everyone else. That peace that passeth understanding that we hear about in the Bible is a peace, it surpasses and goes beyond all earthly understanding because it's not earthly. Because it says all these little dramas we create for ourselves, all those times that we say, I'm fine, while our jaw is clenched so tight our back teeth are being ground into dust. How many times have we done that? Oh, that's in relationship, I don't know, but I don't think men use the I'm fine. Never. Yeah, never. Great. I'm fine. I have no problem at all with that. Meanwhile, every muscle in your body is about to snap that it's so tense. Your teeth are gritted. Your hands are clenched. Let's become friendly with a body check-in, shall we? If you're saying I'm fine and your teeth are clenched, you're not fine. And there is a peace and a godness underneath it where you can be. There is a part at which your body is screaming to you, I'm not okay with this. For whatever reason that is. Whether it's too much for me, I can't handle this. Whether it's you're in a situation that you created, doggone it, and I'm not going to fix it for you. Or whether it's you stepped on my last nerve, or you victimized me, or whatever it is. Let's feel inside and let's get real friendly with what our body is telling us, and then look underneath into our godness and find out what solutions there are in our divinity for what we are creating in our humanity. It's really important. And the truth underneath has peace that passes all understanding. You can be in crisis, and there is a peace underneath it that tells you that you are well. Get in touch with the divinity. Check in with your body. Listen to what it is telling you, because the God positioning device is in here. Your GPS is in here. That God positioning system. It's going, your whole body's trying to tell you this isn't okay. Stop saying it is. Go back to source. Step into that God presence. Take a breath. Take a pause. And find that peace within so that you can get in touch with real world solutions to create the peace without. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Please visit www.unityofsebring.org for more information, to submit a prayer request, or to donate to our ministry. We hope to see you again very soon.